XCN is dead, and here's why. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil, keeping technical analysis short and sweet as always. And right off the bat, it is not dead at all. It's about to get started for those people who have been holding their bag for these past couple months. And first and foremost, I want to say there's this girl called Pinky Doll that's on TikTok. She makes about $7,000 a day. If you just look her up real quick on YouTube, I'm not trying to promote her in any way whatsoever. I'm just trying to comprehend how she's making this money saying random words over and over. I'm trying to give you guys technical analysis for free. All I ask is for 10% whenever you guys cash out. Definitely a joke, but that would be phenomenal if you guys donate, slap stickers on there. I'm actually probably going to do my first live stream in a few hours. For those of you who watch this video, I'll set up that live stream. If anybody joins, I'll say random words like Pinky Doll does. First and foremost, shout out to Jenny, Woozald, Tyler, Joe for the people who have donated or have been trying to learn more using YouTube and the information that I am providing, keeping in mind none of this is financial advice. With all that set aside, there is no quick money scheme. That does not exist. There's no pyramid schemes, anything like that. But as we have seen, Bitcoin had retraced back down to the exact zone that I have leveled out for near bottom. There is the possibility for this to head a little bit lower. However, looking at this on the inverted scale, I would be a little bit afraid if I were a bear, as I would expect this to have a further retracement back towards the 200 EMA. And as for the bulls, once we get over that 200 EMA, that being the main resistance here, probably right around $98,000, we may get a little rejection. Keeping in mind, we may have some rejection here around 93, but volume's picking up. We're trying to bottom out. And so that's kind of it for Bitcoin. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter for you guys. Try and keep it 8 minutes to 10 minutes. The last ones were a couple 20 minutes long. But for those of you who are in XCN, this is kind of what we are looking at. And isn't it strange how trend lines have the possibility of keeping stuff in balance? So with this red trend line, we could adjust this red trend line to the bottom zone here. It's still working within this wedge. So what we are looking at is we could see maybe tap that bottom yet again, get a push up, a little resistance, get some resistance within this area here at 0.008. Keeping in mind the 200 EMA is going to be right here, meeting right at that point at 0.008. If we can get above that, we'd be trading within this range, hopefully testing some support off this 200 EMA that would be curving like this, and then breaking over this red trend line, pushing up to the 0.01, potentially some resistance within this area before pushing up to the 0.012, potential resistance in this area. You say, Neil, why do you say that? Well, we're looking at this. This is where we had some resistance back in this previous point in history. Keeping in mind last time, we just blasted right past that. So anything is possible once XCN gets over that 200 EMA that is kind of drawn out. It's more of a waiting game. However, we have seen quick retracements like back here in April 10th to 11th, where once it got over that 200 EMA, we had that consolidation. We thought it was going to continue lower and immediately just blasted past. You're always looking at the previous history whenever you're looking at charts. So that's why some of the charts that people have recommended, I don't really keep in mind too much because there's no real information. You may just see something like this. But keeping in mind that my first entry on XCN was down here at 0.00086, more or less. Why did I enter? I didn't cross over 200 EMA. But the main thing that I was looking at this point in time, I believe I may have been on the 4 hour, but this is the daily. The daily, I see the CM guppy pushing down as hard as it can. And then we start leveling out, thinning out this CM guppy, and it gets a little bit more rejection, but still thins out the CM guppy. And at the moment I saw the CM guppy about as thin as it possibly can be, and I saw that we had made a pretty nice base here. That was my entry. No real reason besides the fact the CM guppy was thinning out. And lo and behold, we had a couple 100% increase in price. And when we were near this 200 EMA, I sold my bag, waited for us to retrace to the CM guppy, and then instead of it pushing into the red, we started to get a base. And so since we got that base and the CM guppy was still in the gray and still about to turn green, I had my entry yet again, and volume picked up. Looking at these candles down here at the bottom, volume increased exponentially, which had that major price increase, and I held through this area because I knew that we were holding above the CM guppy. In my chart, around the 50% mark, it's blue touching into green, and if we zoom in even more, we can see that it never really broke past that blue area. So since my entry was down here, I didn't have a reason to sell here, and we had that further continuation upwards, came down right at the 50 more or less, and then had that consolidation and that last push up. My sell-off was up here because we were way too far away from the 200 EMA. We had to do our retracement. And what did we do? We did our retracement for months. We had this consolidation period. I believe Coinbase shut down right around this area. So I had some money trapped, and then Coinbase is like, oh yeah, well, you can sell now that we're below the 200 EMA. I'm like, well, what the hell, Coinbase? So this is why I always recommend MEXC. MEXC is a very good platform. Using the reference link below, you get 20 USDT for free, and you can trade futures, which isn't bad. I always recommended you use a VPN, and that's just kind of my take on that. Can't say much more, thanks to YouTube's policy. And then we see we broke over that 200 EMA yet again, major bullish movement. We did trace all the way through the CM guppy, but it tested the support of the 200 EMA, had the complete support, broke a downward trend line, all that is bullish, and then we had all hell break loose and a massive push up to the roughly 5 cent area. So those of you who have been trapped in the 1 cent area, maybe 1.5 cents, maybe 2 cents, don't worry, because hundreds of percent are going to be coming your way. And with this, I want to show you volume. Look at the volume. The price was decreasing, the volume increased exponentially. And where did it get rejection? Right at the 50 on the CM guppy. So it got that resistance, but what we do want to see now is starting to build higher lows, even if it's in consolidation and we see some movement like this, where we get a little bit of movement up to the upside. Even if we pull back, as long as we're not closing below this area, we could expect this to be bullish momentum and a reversal to ease our way through this CM guppy. And when we get through that CM guppy, this area right here is more or less where we need to be trading within, and we could expect this to be pushing up, getting resistance off that 200 EMA, pulling back, trying to find some support within this area before pulling up towards this red downward trend line, which we all have been waiting desperately for that to be broken. That's kind of it for XCN for today. Hopefully that's informative. And for those of you who haven't, always recommended Tornado Cash using that reference link, 20 USDT for free. You've had, I believe, well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, more or less 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 or more opportunities to enter into Tornado Cash at nearly $11. In between there, we've hit $22, we've hit $18, we've hit $19 and again $18 before getting that rejection and that major stability here at $11 mark. I don't think Tornado Cash is going to be going below $11 like I've explained. So those of you who are scared about entering in at $12.97, don't be scared because the all-time high is $459 more or less. $12 turning into $500,000 is not bad. But that's all I got to say about that. And throw some stickers at me, throw some donations, reference links below, and good luck. Have fun with it. I will see you on the next one, and I will try and do a live feed today.